Hey friends. Ooh, your girl look sweaty and dusty right now, but it's all good, guys. I am in the gym. I'm just finishing up my workout. So if I sound a little out of breath, guys, I just had this thing on an incline and going. I'm doing cardio right now, but yeah, these high inclines ain't no joke. Okay, if you go on an incline that's 12 and up, it ain't no joke. But I'm just finishing up my workout. But I wanted to jump on and give you guys this quick word. I released the word earlier. It was such a powerful word, and I don't think I realized how powerful it was until I saw the testimonies and the comments. And this is why it's so important for us to be obedient. And let me stop this since I'm pretty much done. Y'all, your girl. Okay. Are you gonna stop? Okay, it stopped. And guys, let me tell you, before somebody else comes in here, Say has been busy. Okay? I have one earbud right now. Last night, I was working out. One of my earbuds flew out and flew under this door right here, which is a door that's for maintenance. It's always locked, and I can't get my earbud. And of course, when they finally get it, I'm not putting it back in my ear. So I had to order another set of earbuds, and until then, I'm working with one, okay? Tell me Satan is mad without telling me Satan is mad, okay? Not only that, I was cleaning up yesterday. I used a glass spray bottle. The whole glass spray bottle knocked down off the counter, glass splattered everywhere, cleaner everywhere. Y'all, the normal me would have started screaming. I did not. I just maintained face. I left that glass right there on the floor for like 6 hours before I even touched it. I'm like, you know what? When you know Satan's angry and he's doing the things that he knows aggravates you, you can't give him any room. Then I waste coffee all over my white sheets on my bed this morning. Tell me Satan is angry without telling me Satan is angry. Okay, and you just know when the devil is agitated and things are just coming back to back, y'all. And trust me, I feel it, but that's not gonna stop me. I just had to react differently, right? The normal me would have started screaming, Lord, I'm so tired, just going on and on. I did not get mad when I waste coffee over my bed. I did not get mad when that glass bottle flew off the counter and broke and glass splattered everywhere. I did not get angry when these not so cheap earbuds that I've had for the past year and a half flew out of my ear, and I'm working with one, okay? Satan is really trying me, but I'm gonna keep doing the work of God, because this is how you know your breakthrough is close, because he does everything he can to aggravate you, because his goal is to get you to stop praising and serving God. That's his ultimate goal, to get you angry, to make you feel like God is not on your side. But God will never leave us nor forsake us, guys. So I'm still pushing through. But tell me Satan ain't mad. Tell me he ain't mad. He real mad. But anyways, I wanted to give you guys this quick word. I'm so happy to be back in the gym, y'all. I wasn't able to work out for a whole month. I just started working out like a couple weeks ago, because according to doctor's orders, I could not work out. So your girl got to get herself back snatched. What is this? Is that a bug? Oh, that's some strings, y'all. This camera was about to go flying in this gym, because I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some Nina in it. Oh, what am I talking about, y'all? Never mind. But I had to give you guys this word. Let me sit down. Let me find somewhere to sit. I'm in here by myself, y'all. I ain't never in here by myself. Hold on, guys. Let me fix my pants. All right, let's sit. Let's sit and talk. So, guys, so I had a dream. I had this dream on Saturday in the wee hours of the morning. And what God is speaking in this dream is that many of you guys are getting ready to be invited to partake in a type of union, a coming together. And you're not gonna feel like this is for you. You're not gonna feel, let me change my wording, help me Holy Spirit. You're not gonna feel like you belong. You're gonna think of everything that's wrong with you, that's not up to your own standards, as a reason why you should not partake in this union, as a reason to not celebrate this coming together, whatever it is for you. And it does not necessarily have to be a marriage, but God is getting ready to invite you to partake in a union of some sort, a coming together of some sort. And he's called you for this. He actually said, and you guys will get more of this, you were made for me. You were made for me. And that's what the Lord is saying for you. You were made for me. So here, you were made for me, coming out of the Lord's mouth. Okay, he's saying you were made for me, not me. He's saying for him. But hear these words coming out of the Lord's mouth. You were made for me. But whatever type of union you're about to be invited to, you're not going to see yourself as worthy. You're going to look for everything that's wrong with you, everything that you don't possess, everything that you may fall short of. But remember what I told you guys previously. Everything you're not is the reason why you're everything that you are. Everything you're not is the reason why you're everything that you are. And you are amazing. You are amazing. Whatever this union is for you, whatever this celebration of uniting, of coming together is for you. For some of you guys, it is a marriage. For some of you guys, it's God bringing you together to a place that he's promised you, to a job that he's promised you, back to unite with your family, whatever this union looks like for you. But it is a coming together. It is a union. It is a joining that God is inviting you to partake in. This is your time. And he wants you to celebrate. Do not see yourself as not fit to be called, to be invited. Okay? God is saying you were made for me. He said you were made for me. And not me. He's talking about himself. Okay? This has nothing to do with the people that may be involved in this coming together. This has nothing to do with wherever he's calling you. It has nothing to do with the other party. It's more of God calling you to this position because you were made for it. You were made for him and you were made for it. And it is a part of the journey that he's taking you on. So see yourself as worthy. So really quick, I had a dream that I was invited to a wedding and I was a bridesmaid. Okay, I was a bridesmaid. And I was at this wedding, and I knew this wedding was a very close friend of mine, a very close friend of mine. And my friend Jennifer was also at this wedding, and she was invited to be a bridesmaid, but instead she was sitting in the audience with everybody else, or in the pews with everybody else, while I'm standing up at the front with the bridesmaids, right? The ones who were chosen to be bridesmaids, and y'all better hear this spiritually. And I went to Jennifer and I'm like, you know, come on, you're a bridesmaid. And she started telling me how her health is not where it needs to be and she didn't feel adequate to be a bridesmaid, and that she wasn't happy with, you know, the way she felt, the way she looked due to her health, and all of these things she started telling me. And I looked at her and I said, she wants you to sing at this wedding. And I said, she wants you to sing, "You Were Made for Me." And she started, and in that moment, Jennifer started singing, "You were made for me. You were made for me." And she was singing this over and over. And her voice was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. And I don't think my friend Jennifer could sing in real life. And Jennifer, if you listening to this girl, if you could sing, I didn't know. But I don't think she could sing in real life. I don't think singing is her calling. Like, I've never heard her sing. But in this dream, she sung perfectly. And she just kept singing, "You were made for me. You were made for me." And we started singing it together. And in that moment, her best friend, Jennifer's best friend in real life, her name's Rocky, she pushed her, like telling her, go up there, go be a part of the bridesmaids group. And that was the end of the dream. Now, I want you guys to see, I'm going to give it to you guys how the Lord gave it to me. But I want you guys to see these bridesmaids as the same thing as the 10 virgins that were invited to partake in the wedding party. The parable of the 10 virgins. Some versions of the Bible refer to them as bridesmaids. They were invited to partake, to be guests in this wedding. They were invited to this wedding. 5 were foolish, 5 were wise. But you can still see them as bridesmaids. They were the 10 virgins, pure. All of them were invited, but only half of them came prepared and ready. The other ones did not, and we know how the story went, okay? The Lord is saying he's invited you to partake in whatever type of union is coming your way, right? Whatever type of union is coming your way, this is something God himself has invited you to. God is calling you to. And we know the story of the 10 virgins, the parable of the 10 virgins was to symbolize the Lord God coming back and us being ready. Some will be ready, some won't be ready, right? But it was symbolic of us keeping the faith, keeping our fire for God, keeping our lamps lit. Catch this, keeping our light, keeping our faith, keeping our fire for God, because we don't know the time nor the hour. So whenever he shows up, we need to be ready. When God shows up, we don't have time to get ready. We have to be ready. We have to keep our lights lit until the Lord comes back for us. But also, it's symbolic of a lot of different things that God can call us to, and he's spoken to us about. He's invited us to these things. The invite came when he prophesied to us what was going to happen, right? A lot of us have received prophecies from God. There's a marriage waiting for you. There's this job that I have for you over here. I need you to move to this state because when you get here, there's blessings on the other side. All of these are things, when God gives you prophecies, he's inviting you to partake in this journey with him, this great life that he has for you. It's an invite. So regardless, we don't know. God doesn't tell us, okay, I do have a husband for you. It's going to happen May 14th of 2025 at 6 p.m. He doesn't give us the specifics. So when he invites us, as in AKA when he gives us the prophecy, we are to begin to prepare and get ready, even though we don't know the date, the hour, the time. We are to be ready. We are to keep our faith, keep the fire lit. Whatever he speaks to us, it's his invitation for us to partner with him in this journey and watch him do great and mighty things in our lives, but we don't know the time nor the hour. Just like the story of the parable and the 10 virgins, the parable of the 10 virgins, they didn't know. They didn't know when the bridegroom would show up. They didn't know when this wedding was going to happen, so they needed to stay ready. They didn't know when it was going to happen. So see this as the prophecies that God has spoken to you. You're going to get this job. This is going to be amazing for you. This opportunity is going to be big. Just follow me. I have a husband for you. I have a wife for you. All of those are also, they're prophecies, but they're symbolic of invitations from God. You have the choice to say, no, I don't want the husband you have for me. I don't want the wife you have for me. I don't want the job you have for me. I don't want this, whatever you're doing and with this location that you are wanting me to go to. I don't want it. You have free will. So you have the choice to decline the Lord's invite, which would be the worst thing that you could do, or you can accept it, but not only accept it, keep your faith and keep the fire. When he gives you something, don't be tossed to and fro. If God told you, he's not a God that will lie, so he's going to bring that thing to pass. He's going to bring it to pass. But just like in this dream, I was a part of the wedding party. I was a bridesmaid. So I was invited to partake in this union. And what God began to speak to me, and this is why it's important to allow God to interpret your dreams, because so many prophetic dreamers really think a wedding is symbolic of one thing and it can go one way. Sit with God and let him interpret what that means. Sit with God. It's important. What he spoke to me, what he spoke to my heart about this dream is that he's invited many of you guys, and you're about to see a union come right before your eyes, whether it is your marriage union. It is your union back to family members that you haven't spoken to. Maybe God is reuniting you to your mom, to your father, to your kids. Whatever this union is, it could be your union to the land that God promised to give to you, to the opportunity, the job opportunity that he's promised to connect you with. It's a uniting, it's a joining. That's what a marriage is. It's a joining, it's a uniting, it's a togetherness of some sort. It's a coming together. And God has invited you to partake in that. So you're about to see this union right before your very eyes. Don't be like Jennifer in the dream and start looking at everything that's wrong with you and trying to back out of this opportunity that God has called you for. He says you were made for him. You were made for him. It has nothing to do with these people involved. You were made for him. Meaning your body is the temple of the Lord. You were made for God's use and he's using you. So whatever union he's bringing together in your life, you were made for him. He's called you to do it. It doesn't matter about your health. It doesn't matter what you think you look like. It doesn't matter what you feel like doesn't make sense. Or maybe I'm too big, I'm too skinny, I'm too tall, I'm too short. My health is not where it needs to be. My educational background is not where it needs to be. I'm just gonna sit in the audience. Jennifer's best friend pushed her like, go. And if you don't have divine connections in your life that tells you to go when God has called you, then you need some new connections, honey. If you don't have the type of connections to where God is calling you somewhere and you're starting to feel like you don't add up, but your connections won't let you just sit there. Real divine connections will tell you go, like you're being called for this, go. And her best friend in the dream told her to go. I had to go to Jennifer. I said, come on. I said, she wants you to sing, "You Were Made for Me." And Jennifer just began to sing, and it was the most beautiful thing. The harmony was harmonying, okay? It was on point. You fit perfectly. You're in harmony with this union. You go together with this thing perfectly. Whatever it is that God has invited you to celebrate and to partake in, you were made for him. If it is marriage, God is saying you were made for him. Not just the other man or the woman that he's calling you to be in union with, but he's saying you were made for him, as in the Lord God. He called you to this for a reason. Nobody else was called to this specific position but you. Do not sell yourself short and talk yourself out of celebrating this union that is going to come right before your eyes. Don't turn down this opportunity because you don't feel adequate. Don't turn down this opportunity because you don't feel like you belong. And for a lot of you guys, it is a marriage. It's going to be right before your very eyes, and it's going to be so easy for you to say, no, I'm not ready to marry. This is not for me. And it has nothing to do with you not having the peace of God, but everything to do with you talking yourself out of it and fearing that you don't add up. Do not confuse your fear with no peace. You can have God's peace and still fear and do it anyway, because God will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. But do not confuse your fear with no peace and try to say, oh no, I don't have God's peace over it, when it's really your fear. Your fear and no peace is two different things, because God will give you his peace that surpasses all understanding, and your fear may not exit the building even though his peace is there. So don't confuse the two. Sometimes you guys are like, I'm waiting for God to answer. And I have to ask sometimes, I'm like, well, do you have God's peace over it? And they'll say, yes, but I didn't hear his voice. Honey, his peace is his voice. It's an answer. He's giving you the peace so that you can proceed. That's an answer. When he does not give you his peace over it, that's also an answer. That means no, but do not confuse not having peace with your fear. Don't confuse the two. Whatever union God is calling you to celebrate that's about to happen right before your very eyes, whatever he's calling you to celebrate, whatever coming together, whatever joining he's calling you to, God says, you were made for me. He says, you were made for me. It has nothing to do with the parties involved, the companies involved, the location. God says, you were made for me. He's saying you were made for him. He called you to this for a reason. Your health, whatever you're going through, the way you feel like you look, you're not happy with your look, whatever it is, don't let Satan give you these thoughts of not adding up because of physical things, because of medical things, because of financial things. God is a God who will provide. That can change in a second. Don't let Satan talk you out of whatever this opportunity is that you're going to be invited to. You're not supposed to sit in the audience and watch. You're a part of it. So whatever proposal this is for you, again, it does not necessarily have to be a marriage. It could be a job proposal, a job opportunity. It could be a marriage. It could be so many different types of proposals. A proposal does not just mean a wedding proposal. Look up the definition of proposal. That's what I'm going to leave. Look up the definition of proposal. Whatever this is that you're being invited to, do not talk yourself out of it because you feel like you don't add up. Everything you're not is the reason why you're everything that you are. God is going to give you a peace that surpasses all understanding to partake in this opportunity, to be a part of it. Accept his invitation, accept the position, and don't talk yourself out of it. So that's the word, y'all. Your girl's about to get up and try to finish this day out. I'm like 3 different colors, y'all. I don't know what's happening, but don't talk yourself out of it, guys. I love you. I hope you have a great Sunday, and I pray that this made sense. But yeah, don't talk yourself out of it. I love you guys. I also released the word earlier. I think I said that at the beginning of this video. Go watch that. If you haven't watched it, even if it's not for you in this season, I talked about how God gave me my first prophetic dream in October of 2020. And earlier this week, I was talking to God and I said, Lord, it's been 3 years and 6 months since you gave me that prophetic word. And it still hasn't came to pass. I'm like, I'm not doubting you, but it's been 3 years and 6 months. And when he gave me that prophetic word, and I'm giving you guys a clip of it, for those of you that may not have watched it, but when he gave me that prophetic word in 2020, he woke me up from that dream and he was telling me, he gave me the story of Elisha and Elijah praying for the rain. And when I woke up, he told me, he said, when it doesn't look like what I said it would be, keep looking until you see me. Keep looking until you see me, and then you'll know it's about to unravel. So when I was talking to God earlier this week, and I'm like, it's been 3 years and 6 months since you gave me that prophetic word, since you gave me that prophecy, and it still hasn't happened. The Lord sent me back to read, I forgot the verses, guys, but you guys can look it up. It was 3 years and 6 months to the T from when Elijah asked God to hold the rain back, to not let it rain, from when God sent it again. It was 3 years and 6 months to the T. And you guys can read this in scripture. And I'll try to link the scriptures below in the comment section if I remember. And I never noticed that until this week. And God was like, yeah, it's been 3 years and 6 months since I gave you that prophetic promise. And it was the same for Elijah in the rain. And that blew my mind because this whole time, I never looked into how long it took from the time God stopped the rain for him to bring it back. I never looked into that. And a lot of the times we just take the prophetic words without really digging deep into it. And we're thinking it's the next year or the next week or whatever. But if we really sit with God on it, God is very strategic. And if he talks to you like he talks to me in parables, it's worth sitting with him some. And when God showed me that, I was just like, okay, Lord, I hear you. I hear you. And for a lot of you guys, that hand, that cloud the size of a man's hand, that moment is now. That moment is now. There's no way that I literally counted. It's been 3 years and 6 months, Lord, since you gave me that prophetic word. God clapped back too. He said, yeah, and it was 3 years and 6 months when I brought that rain back to Elijah when he prayed for it. I was like, ooh. So God is saying when it does not look like what he said, keep looking until it does. Keep those lamps going. Stay prepared. Keep extra oil. Keep the fire. Keep the faith. And stay waiting for him. Stay prepared. Don't be like the foolish virgins who could not get in. Be the wise ones. You've been invited and you've been called. So that's the word, guys. I love you. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.